Okay, so I'm going to go over some of the NSA stuff that they're not being told about, the spying that's going on. People need to wake up, and wake up fast, because stuff's going downhill. Now, I did take some notes, to make sure that I hit the key plot points here, the key points that are going on. So, listen up. Okay, so we're going to go through the who, what, when, why, and where. So, who is doing the spying? Well, that's obvious. NSA, CIA, FBI, DHS, and your local law enforcement. They're all doing the spying, okay? So why are they spying on Americans? Well, they claim it's for national security. They're claiming, that it's to protect us and all this other crap. Truth is, it's for none of that. All this is for is to basically spy on American people. The foreign intelligence people, they already know this happens, okay? The real terrorists, they already know about all this, okay? So, basically, they're spying on Americans, gathering all the intel on Americans that they possibly can. Why do you think they're building a new storage unit in Utah that can hold the most storage ever? Okay, that's because they're collecting every aspect of everybody's life and putting it at that storage unit. And then they're going to use DARPA's advanced technology to Google search your life basically whenever they need to. Okay? We'll get into the reasons, why later on that they're doing this. So how are they doing this? Well, basically, if you have a DSL company, like a ISP provider, internet service provider, that runs a cable to your house, mostly you'll notice that the government has given grants to these internet service providers to put in fiber optic cables. Now they tell you it's for faster speeds and this and that, which is kind of true. However, we'll get into that more later on why they really did that. But basically what they do is, we'll get into it now. They the fiber optic cables bounce light from the inside the cable is a glass tube, and wrapped around that glass tube is a sort of mirror like thing that allows your information that travels through light signals to bounce around the fiber optic cable till it gets to the destination at the internet service provider. Okay? Now, what happens with this is it is faster. However, it's a lot more easy to steal your data. The old way used to use sound, and then they would have to have equipment to interpret the sound, which most still do, into what your information is. That sound tells what your information is. Now with the light, what they do is they put a splitter. It's called a splitter in at the internet service provider. Now this is kind of an older way of doing it, but they still do it. They put these splitters in, close off a room that only authorized personnel are allowed to go in, and basically they send all when that information hits that splitter, even though it fades the light a little bit, you got a duplicate all of a sudden, because now half your information, all of your information is going to this one side of the splitter, while at the same time all the information is going to the other side of the splitter. So you never know when your information is being duplicated and copied, because that's what it's doing, is it's splitting the light so that whoever's in these secret rooms can, at the like AT&T, for example, had this happen to them quite a bit, where they put in these secret rooms where splitters were put in, and they would just gather your information. And there's more to the gathering. We'll get into that in a little bit. And there's even court cases documenting this. Okay, so wirelessly, that's a little bit more difficult to explain. However, they access it through Verizon and through other areas. Basically, they force, with NSL letters, force these companies to allow the NSA and other organizations, three-letter organizations, into the company's back doors and have access to their servers, and or force them to give over information that they can't get through that means by sending them NSL letters. Okay? When all else fails, they hack your information. And basically, we'll talk more about the 256-bit encryption later, but basically, to make a long story short, they hack it. and that's how they get it as well. They don't like to hack it because that leaves a digital footprint, and it's harder to do. It means more work. What are they doing to get the data, and what do they do with it? Well, like I said before, they're storing the data. They ran out of room in DC and other areas, so now in Hawaii and other areas. So now they built this massive unit in Utah, and that's where they're going to store your information, everything about your life. How to get the data is the most scariest, ridiculous thing. Your phone is the best spy tool that the NSA has ever helped build, okay? Anything with a camera and a mic is used in recording you at all times. Just remember that, and you'll be good to go. Your laptop, same thing. What they do is they have programs like anything that connects to the internet. Your smartphone is used against you all the time. Look at your Facebook permissions, Google permissions. They even tell you that they can turn it on without telling you. And they can record your voice, video, pictures, anything. So the next time you think that you're having sex with your girlfriend or wife, or your daughter's having sex with her boyfriend, and you think, oh, that'll never happen, and then wonder how your pictures or video ended up on the web, well, now you know, because if you have your phone near you, it is recording you. Remember that. It is always recording you. Turn it off. Get it away from you. Same thing with your computer. Webcam is always on. Mic always on. They're recording you all the time. Same thing with the Xbox, the Kinect. It is recording you all the time. The new Xbox One, same thing. I'll get into that more later. Okay. They're also taking your data. Okay, when they access your computer, they have full and complete access to your computer. Everything on there, they get. That's how they're getting it. Anything. Just remember, with the camera and mic, they're getting it. So when are they doing this? Well, they're doing it all the time, like I just said. Okay? And they're doing it without your knowledge. And anytime you have a device around you or on it, they're recording. The new Xbox One. Have you asked yourself, why does it have to connect to the internet all the time, once every hour it connects? And then if you play offline, it has to connect within 24 hours. Why? Because if it's secretly recording you, it can only probably hold about that much gigabytes of data before it has to upload it. And I guarantee you that any hacker might be able to look in there and find those codes where it's uploading the data and where it's restoring data that it shouldn't be. Okay? That's the secret of those. You know, these are, you know, people, we all have to have these great systems and don't realize what they can do and what they are doing. Just so you know, the Xbox One can track your heartbeat, okay, and your eye movements. It watches your very eye movements and scans your retinas and your heartbeat. It knows when you're in the room. It turns on. It records when you come in the room. You don't find that weird? Okay, think about it. Should you worry? Well, hell yes, you should worry. And you should be upset. Not only are you being targeted as a domestic terrorist for being an American citizen, believing in your rights, maybe you like your gun rights, maybe you want to protest because you don't agree with something political. Everything you do is being recorded and stored and searchable by DARPA through a search engine that they're creating and possibly have created by now. Now, what they do is your whole life, it's like the Truman Show, your whole life is recorded and you have no idea that it is. Okay, so why should this be a concern? I'm not a criminal. Well, yes, we all have skeletons in our closet, okay? And secondly, I don't think that they should have on a database somewhere me banging my wife or whatever I'm doing. It is your right to privacy, your right to freedom that you're giving up by allowing this. Stop allowing it, okay? And also, let's not forget about political persuasion. Or maybe you don't like Obama and you say something about it. Guess what? You wonder why you have Secret Service at your door the next day because you were sitting in your living room playing on the Xbox and you stated, oh, I don't like Obama. And all of a sudden your phone that was sitting next to you in your Xbox picked that up and sent it right to NSA database, and they keyed it out and said, oh my God, this guy could be a terrorist. Or he's already considered a domestic terrorist. Now we have, let's go hold him indefinitely under the NDAA that you idiots allowed to pass, which is the stupidest. The Patriot Act needs to be repealed. Internet should always remain free, just for this reason. Or let's say blackmail. Justice John Roberts. Anyone find it odd that he openly and publicly hated Obamacare and opposed it, and then all of a sudden at the last minute he voted for it. Let's see, blackmail. He was guaranteed he was being recorded, and they got some dirt of some sort on him. Maybe the fact he was gay, who knows? But they blackmailed him, and that's for sure. And they could blackmail you. They could blackmail just businesses, anything. You know, if you don't like Obama, you say something bad, you want to protest about something, you no longer have that right. They're taking all that away, and you people won't wake up and see that. They're trying to take your guns from you for a reason. We the people are the strongest thing in the world. And as long as we stand together, we can stop this. Contact your congressman. Let them know you don't want this. You know, start there. That's what we need to do. Thing is people aren't stepping back and looking at the big picture. Look at all the executive orders this man has signed. Look at him trying to take away guns. Look at what the Supreme Court has been doing, ruling in his favor to take away rights and liberties and freedoms. And now the NSA, who just got caught doing what they're doing, which, you know, people have been trying to warn you about for the longest time, and you just want to say, oh, conspiracy theory, because that's what they have mainstream media teaching you that it is. When in fact it's the truth and the reality, and you're just too ignorant to realize it. Wake up. And let's get to the worst of all. Here's why they shouldn't have access to your computer. Let's say that you want to protest or you don't agree with Obama, and you're somebody of importance. Or maybe they just don't like you because you're causing a stir. Do you realize that not only can they turn on your cam and mic on your computers and phones, but they can plant data? Meaning, all of a sudden you're being arrested for child pornography, even though you know you have no interest in the sick shit. But yet, it's on your computer. How'd it get there? I didn't put it there, officer. Well, it's your computer. Well, guess what? Yes, that is exactly what they can do, and there has been some reports that's what they have been doing. So, think about it. You know, it makes all the evidence they gather that way illegal, wrong, and untrustworthy. People need to wake up and realize that this is not the way. You do not give up your liberties and freedoms for security. Okay? That is just, ignorant, and it's the military complex, industrial complex, and all those that are the higher up powers above Obama as well that are doing this to get all your control over you, to control you. Did you know the healthcare has an RDIF chip for a reason that you must get implanted? They want full and complete control to completely treat you like sheep. And all your banking stuff on a credit card, on a debit card, never cash. Why? Well, that's because they want to be able to turn it off when you piss them off. Think about it, people. Last thing we're going to mention is Obama's endorsing into law and making it okay for the FBI to legally and publicly acknowledge that they're going to start hacking into Facebook and social sites, IM chats, and emails through the back door. That it has to be provided by Google, Apple, and internet service providers and Facebook, and that if these companies refuse to do it, that they'll get fined and possibly go to prison. So even if they don't want to give them a back door, they have to. Obama's signing it into law to make sure that everything you do is recorded. This needs to and has to stop. It is unconstitutional. Snowden is a hero. He did not break any laws if the laws were unconstitutional. And that's what this is unconstitutional behavior by a government that wants complete control over its citizens. You need to stand up and fight for your rights. I am the rooster, and I'm the cock that's gonna squawk.